This first team is going to be against a Blue Lions theme team with a very nice Brave Micaiah on it. These two Dimitris are ready to do a lot of damage, and Helix is very nice there as a far save option. So we're going to go ahead and get our units moved into position. We're going to do so kind of aggressively, and in the process of this, I'm going to actually end up exposing my Edelgard to his legendary Dimitri. He's going to be able to take her out. He's going to be left in Odin's range though, and Odin's actually able to double him and take him out. Not a whole lot's going to happen in turn 2, mostly going to be just moving our units around, trying to get into an optimal position for starting turn 3. At the start of turn 3, legendary Sigurd is within Fallen Dimitri's range, so he's actually going to be able to come in and take him out. But once again, he's been left in Odin's range, and with his charged Glimmer, he'll be able to one-shot Dimitri. At this point, we've both taken out the same number of units, but I'm starting to develop an advantage in terms of having more units in the capture area, so I'm not going to be too aggressive about trying to take out any more units. Just try to ride it out towards the end. However, my opponent doesn't have that same ability to just wait around, so they're going to use Annette's weapon to give Micaiah extra movement so that she's going to be able to force one more engagement within this match. She's able to move in pretty deep into our territory, so I just have to try to prepare to be able to counterattack her, whichever unit she decides to take on. I assume she's going to go for Odin to get revenge against the two Dimitris that are down, but she's actually going to go ahead and go against Vitri, which is a-okay with me. I'd rather keep Odin alive anyway. And then Myrrh will be able to come in and finish her off. And at this point, it's good game. This next team focuses on mobility. They've got 3 units that are able to use Canto. They've also got a Fallen Edelgard, because why not? She's a good addition to basically any team. So we're going to move into position, and they're going to be pushing their Edelgard very far forward. And at the start of this next turn, Edelgard's going to be able to engage on Odin, who's in range, but he'll be able to tank that hit like the champ that he is, and allow legendary Sigurd to come in and take her out. Thanks to his special, we now have extra movement, and we're going to be able to push Myrrh forward, and she'll be able to take out Regan. Odin's going to keep doing his best to use a repo to keep Myrrh under the protection of Farsaved. And at this point, we're starting to get an advantage in terms of the capture area as well. Corinja's going to do some chip damage on Fallen Edelgard, who isn't able to retaliate, but that's fine. Myrrh will take out Rayson. Corinja will charge up another action. Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to do that. She has very bad res, so we're going to bring in Best Boy Odin to go on and one-shot her. Erica goes in to attack into Fallen Edelgard, but can't take her out, and that'll be a good game. This next team also used high mobility ranged units with Yuri and Ascended Laevatein. They also have a duo fonts, and the unit that really scares me on this team is legendary Marth. He's become such a menace since his remix, but we're going to see what we're able to do against him. Alphonse is going to use his duo skill to charge up his special, and we're going to get everybody else into their positions. In the next turn, I try to use legendary Sigurd to break into their team, but they're going to block with Marth. I'm going to do something I hardly ever do. I'm actually going to do a sack play and sacrifice my Sigurd. This will basically incapacitate their Marth, as well as grant extra movement to my team, so that we're able to take the advantage. Edelgard's going to move forward for some far save, and Odin's going to be able to come in and take out their duo fonts, which I thought was a really nice matchup for him. At this point, they leave Laevatein right in Odin's range. So at the beginning of this turn, we're just going to go ahead and have Odin take her out. And this is where I make the biggest mistake of this whole run. Instead of repoing, I just move her behind him, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to survive this match. Marth, now that he's danced, is going to be able to come in and take Odin out, but I will not forget, Odin was able to take out 2 of those units. He's the MVP of this match, and that doesn't change that. At this point, there's not a whole lot the team can do. Marth is very badly damaged, and these ranged units aren't going to be able to do anything against fallen Edelgard. So we're just going to watch the rest of the match play out. Once she takes out Marth, I think they realize there's not a whole lot else that they're able to do, so that's going to go ahead and be a good game. We've all seen how good blade tomes are. I mean, just look at Odin. And the melee version of that is Laevatein, who we see featured here on this team. She actually has a really good group of supportive units. She gets damage reduction from Flame, she gets far save from Braid Edelgard, and new spell is going to increase her damage output. So really, she's quite scary on this team, and we're going to be able to see how we're able to handle it. I'm going to move Legendary Sigurd down to see if he's able to get the kill. Unfortunately, he's not. So I'm going to move Odin down to try to put some pressure on the lower part of their team. They retreat, so there's not a whole lot that I can do. I'm actually going to push Laevatein forward and take out Edelgard. Just able to one-shot her. But they left Laevatein in Odin's range, so he's going to be able to come in and take her out also in one shot. At this point, the enemy's going to retreat, and we're going to have to try to find a way to be able to break through. They still have Flame for damage reduction, Edelgard there for far save, so they're still very well fortified. At the start of turn 4, Legendary Sigurd's going to be able to come in and take out their Muse spell. He has to take a lot of damage in the process, but this way we're able to start to break things up. Edelgard's going to move forward but not attack, so I can only assume she actually wasn't able to get the kill, but we're still going to repo him out just for safety purposes. Myrrh, I'm not worried about her being able to take on any of these units. And then at the start of the final turn, they actually left Flame within Legendary Sigurd's range, so we're going to go ahead and take her out, and that'll be a good game for this match. This next team is going to demonstrate why you shouldn't underestimate Odin, in case all the other matches haven't shown you that already. They have some nice units, a very well-built Selith, a Vector who I actually haven't seen too much in Summoner's Duel, and a duo Altina. They're going to go ahead and push forward with their Erica. Erica, I imagine, is trying to take out our fallen Edelgard, which normally would be a good move, but they leave her in Odin's range, and he's actually able to double her on his player phase. At the start of turn 2, he is within Altina's range, so Altina's going to go in and attack him, but he's actually able to survive that, including her special, and then take her out with his charged Glimmer, and that'll be a good game. This last match that I'm showing here is actually one of the first ones that I had. They have a lot of nice meta units. They have the Corinja, they have the Brave Erica, but one of the things I really respect about it is that they're using their highly invested Oboro. As somebody that uses a Gen 1 unit, I have a lot of respect for that. We're going to go ahead and move into position, and while I'm doing this, I'm actually going to make a mistake and put my Legendary Quad into a pretty dangerous position, and they're going to be able to move their Legendary Quad to go ahead and take him out. However, this is the end of the turn, and they left him within Odin's range. So at the beginning of turn 3, I'm lucky enough to be able to move first, and I'm going to be able to move Odin in. He has a pre-charged Glimmer and take Legendary Quad out in one hit. At this point, it's just going to be a lot of moving our units around. Neither of us really want to put ourselves into a dangerous position, but we're starting to get towards the end of the match. Unfortunately, I have Odin way far away from the rest of the team, so I'm not able to get him under the protection of Far Save, which really limits our mobility. But starting turn 5, we gotta take some action. I move Legendary Sigurd in to take out Corinja. And then Erica will go ahead and take out Legendary Sigurd, but we do have extra movement from him. Myrrh will be able to repo Odin up, and Odin's actually going to be able to reach Erica, and again, he's able to double her on his player phase. At this point, we've secured more kills, so this is going to be a good game. With a little Myrrh flex for fun. And those are a few highlights from my road to favorite level 1000. I was the second player to reach that for Odin. Congrats to all the other Odin players, and thanks for watching.